What is up, y'all? Welcome back to Halo's Kitchen, the best kitchen out there, period. It's Chef A, and I actually got some chef cooking content for y'all, a tutorial at the end of this video, so stay tuned. Y'all know I had to get me, working out and whatnot. This is about the only day that I really recorded. I only went 3 times, this past week, so yeah, gotta get back more consistent, but at least I still showed up at all. And right here, I wanted to share some of the meals that I've created outside of my, short form content that I've made. This first one is a lobster mushroom and quinoa soup. It was so good. Right here, I have a spring salad with a hemp seed ranch. This recipe is actually in my Instagram broadcast channel, so go follow me, Halo's Kitchen _ to see that. And this one right here, I don't even know what to call that, but I'll list the ingredients on the screen. I promise it was good and worked really, really good together. And I just wanted to show y'all my outfit real quick. I've been working on, finding my style and putting something together. So yeah, this is what I wore to this birthday dinner. No retwists. Since like the end of January, to be honest. I'm finally about to get one at the end of this month. Well, at least a professional retwist. I've been just letting it do its thing. I believe this was the next day or 2 days later, but I decided to make a bit of an investment. And yes, you saw that correctly. Those were some herbs. I'm actually going to talk about investing in the next clip, so enjoy. Okay, y'all, so far so good. I hope the lighting is better up in here, but yes, like I have been investing, and that's really big for me. And that might sound crazy to say that that's something big for somebody who's literally owned an LLC since 2021, but honestly, I say like the end of last year, but mostly this year, to be honest, is when I finally started taking those leaps and investing into my own stuff so that I could grow. Because last year, I feel like it was mostly just others who really saw the potential in me more than I could see it in myself. And they were more used to taking those risky type of moves and whatnot. And that just wasn't me. I was very, very scary, and I lacked the confidence and belief within myself, and just that inner knowing that this is meant for me, that I'm going to be able to profit and grow, even if it's like slow and steadily off of, going this way or making this financial decision or whatever. And now I feel like, I don't know, because I finally found the inner knowing that everything is always working out and my abundance isn't separate from me, that life and that system of where everything I spend comes back to me times 100 times whatever amount, not even putting limitations on how much comes back to me. Now that I finally found that inner knowing and not just belief or holding on to the fears and limitations and insecurity surrounding it, I don't know, I just have been taking risks like it's nothing. I don't feel scared of nothing much anymore, to be honest. And yeah, I invested into this microphone real quick. I've actually been trying to get it for a hot minute. But like I said, I didn't get the more expensive one. That one's gonna be like $150 to $200 depending on which one I get, but it's definitely coming soon enough. I'm just trying to structure my finances now, because back then I did not used to do that. I just used to go with the flow. And I definitely have learned from that mistake of, not putting things in order and just being a little bit more responsible with finances, but now no longer doing it from a place of lack or scarcity, but just making smart decisions, pretty much, not just being too impulsive and spending things on stuff that doesn't what's the word? I know it's liability and something else. It starts with an A, I think. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, but yeah, spending money on liabilities versus something that's going to, grow and increase or whatever. Whatever I'm putting into something. But to be honest, with certain stuff like that and just being a business owner, you never truly know which decision is going to be that one that really pays off in the long run. But at the same time, every single step is what leads you to things paying off. So I don't know. I don't even like to think of it that way, like the possibility of, oh, this isn't going to get me there, because I don't feel like I look at just one singular decision as the one that's going to do it for me, because this is all a journey. It's all a process. Every single thing that I went through, even last year, what I experienced, you know, just living in that state of fear and stress, anxiety, overwhelmed, and just not having any types of faith for real, like the faith of a mustard seed, I guess you could say. Yeah, all of that was a part of the process as well. All of the struggles, all of the, I don't want to necessarily say fails, because it's not like I gave up on anything. I'm still going to this day. But yeah, I've been making some big girl purchases, and I'm so excited to show y'all what I got cooking up for the month of April. And actually what I'm doing in April is going to drag out into the start of the summertime. Got some new stuff cooking up, but I ain't gonna say too much. I'm just excited to be preparing it all. And again, like I said in my last video, even if y'all see me slowing down or whatever within a certain month or whatever, or for a couple of weeks, just know it's not gonna be too long before my creative spark really just takes charge and I start going crazy again. Like, I just can't help it. But this right here, I know y'all keep seeing me hold this. I also decided to get something for my health, for my lymphatic drainage. I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, because I find that, I don't know, I just don't be doing that as much, like the beating on my stomach or whatever and massaging and stuff like I should. So I'm like, maybe if I have this, I'll do it a little bit more, and maybe this will also, you know, do it better for me too, and like go deeper. Pause. But yeah, y'all, I only got one handle screwed on right now. Well, let me put this on here to see how it sounds when it's clipped to my shirt. Hopefully it's not moving around too much. But yeah, as you can see, I'm actually able to do that. Let me get up here. So yeah, y'all, I'm able to do that. And ooh, I apologize if it sounds like hopefully it don't, since it got this cover on it too. And then it could get my back too. I think you're supposed to do your back. I'm not 100% sure, but I would guess so. But yeah, it could get my back because I'm not really able to get back there as much, and this helps me reach it a lot easier, I would say. See? And then I can even turn it up like that. And then I can even unscrew it, and you see how it has holes on the side? I'm able to screw it in like that. If that feels more comfortable for me than doing it like this. I'm not gonna lie, this feels good. If y'all don't know, I'm like still on a journey of healing my stomach lining. Also in the process of getting rid of the ovarian cyst. I don't even want to say it like that, but no longer identifying with it. Because truly I feel like that's another thing that keeps things like, that keeps the body at dis-ease. When you constantly keep attaching it to your identity. So I also said too, like I'm in my phase, not even phase, but I've entered a point in my life where I don't really like to go by labels of certain things, well, anything at all for real, because I feel like it just puts me in a box. And I know here and there, sometimes I still do tend to use them, especially when I say like plant-based or vegan and stuff like that. But honestly, I just kind of say that out of habit, but I'm working through it. But yeah, like I said with that, and you know, reading, what is it called? Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. That's been like a great refresher of pretty much what I read in Becoming Supernatural. I don't know if y'all would agree, but I feel like a lot of what Dr. Joe Dispenza be talking about is kind of repeating itself. You honestly only need to read like one of his books. I haven't even read all of them, but I would say either Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself or Becoming Supernatural. Like either or is gonna really give you that sauce. But if I had to choose, I would say Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Yeah, I like that one more. Because I didn't even get through Becoming Supernatural all the way, to be honest. I think back then I just my brain, I don't know, just kind of got bored of all like the scientific words and stuff. Like, okay. And I felt like in a lot of ways it repeats itself over and over, which repetition can definitely be beneficial. It has been beneficial for me, but at the same time, it's like it can like chill out a little bit. um, but yeah, y'all, I got this. I also got me some new nose rings. You can see one of them are in right here. I got some like hoops too. I honestly want to get this other side pierced as well. I just don't really want to go through that healing process again, to be honest, because like it used to have a lot of pus or whatever when I first got this side pierced, and it like it wasn't a keloid, but some type of like bump or whatever that surfaced from it too. And I literally followed all the instructions or whatever as far as how to prevent the infections and whatnot. But they even said that it's most likely that you're going to get that type of stuff that's coming out, and that's just all a natural part of the healing phase. And I also had that with my belly button piercing too, and that took a long time to heal as well, like 6 months. And I wouldn't even say it was fully healed by then. That's just when it finally stopped like drying up and pussing and stuff. Like, ugh, disgusting. But yeah, if my skin is looking like dry or even like a little bit of a breakout too, one is probably hormones. I'm in I forgot what the phase is called. I don't know if it's follicle or something, whichever phase it is when you're going through the ovulation period. Yeah, that, and also I still need to get some new water filters for the shower, because you know that will also have your skin looking super dry and breaking out and stuff too. So definitely gotta get on that. I should have ordered that with this stuff as well, but I shall get there. Yeah, and tomorrow I'm gonna be going to volunteer. Yeah, but I'm doing some gardening. I'm going to be volunteering with Chicago Cares. I believe that's the program is called, if anybody else is interested in some volunteer work. Yeah, and I'm super interested in gardening and really getting into that nature type of vibe. That's going to be a part of the future life that I envision, I guess you could say. Like, especially when I get married, have kids and stuff, you know. I feel like that's a lot of people's, like holistic people's ideal vision for the future, to be honest. Oh, let's go buy some land, start a farm, raise your kids out there, homeschool your kids, travel the world, etc., etc. Yeah, I guess that's my version of the American dream. But not in America, somewhere else, in another country. What's up, y'all? I have made it to the volunteer section or whatever. This is actually somewhere kind of out west. I don't know if it's really considered, I know it's near the west side, but I don't know if it's like necessarily the dangerous parts. But I know I'm surrounding Humble Park and also East Garfield, so I know stuff do be happening like out this way. But yeah, I'm like next to a school or something like that. So yeah, like I said, I hope I can show you guys some of the behind the scenes. If not, I'll definitely update y'all on how my experience was. But I'm excited. I had to go get my hiking shoes or whatever, because I'm not sure to what extent we're going to be gardening, like if it's going to be something inside of a greenhouse or if it's literally going to be out there in the mud for real. So I had to make sure I could get some shoes that I didn't really care about for real. So yeah, y'all like my new nose rings or whatever. Now, for my out west Chicagoans, don't take that the wrong way. I know, you know, the west side of Chicago can be more than just violence, as, you know, the south side is more than just violence as the east side. But that's just what it's commonly known for, and just known as a place where you do have to keep your guard up a little bit more. Yeah, especially you hear like woman just going out west by herself to do something like this. So yeah. But this was a super fun experience. Right here I'm showing y'all me doing the weeding process. You know, we're pulling out the roots and whatnot, because apparently that's what kills the nutrition within the stuff that's like growing out. I think that's how the lady explained it. So yeah, this was actually my first time doing this. And yeah, we just had these buckets to toss them in. And yeah, right here, the section that we were on was actually planting some spinach. And, you know, after we pulled out the weeds, we actually did some raking too, but I didn't get that on camera. And this is actually me planting the seeds. And as you can see, there's a wheel on there making an indent, and the seeds are falling out at the same time as it's doing this. I was supposed to stay in a straight line, but I was crooked as ever, but it's cool. And then we just had to give it a good water. I think they said normally they do have a water hose, but it was not set up or whatever. I guess maybe because we're just moving into spring, so I don't know. They were using these things to refill. Hopefully y'all can hear me good. I got the Bluetooth connected or whatever, but I just finished. That was a lot of fun. Like, I learned a lot. Though that was like mostly just pulling out the weeds or whatever, we planted the seeds too, and we also got a chance to water, so that was just really, really cool. It was only one other person that I was talking to for real. It was only 3 of us actually, and then I was talking to the organizer as well. So excuse me, good vibes, good energy, and a step in that direction to being able to grocery shop in my backyard. Like, it's coming. Eventually Halo's Kitchen is going to transform into that, like, as natural as possible. I cannot wait, and I'm so grateful for this experience, and I can't wait to be back for more. So I definitely recommend this location. Apparently this is not the Chicago Cares company in general. Chicago Cares just partners with them specifically. I think it's called Chicago something. I'll put it in the description if y'all are interested, or I'll insert it on the screen. I don't know, but yeah, that was fire. My nose all red, it's runny. So y'all, here is more of the investments that I was speaking on. Yeah, investing into my health, but it also will tie into my content creation too, and just being able to learn some stuff through experience and through creation so that I could share it with the rest of the world. So yeah, I finally tried out mountain rose herbs. If anybody was interested in that, that's actually what I was showing earlier on in that clip. This is the website, before anyone asks. I've been wanting to order from them for so long, and I'm finally about to test out some right now. I think I'm gonna do some Damiana leaf and some sarsaparilla roots. Yeah, I got these for my hormones, and then I'm probably gonna take these tonight and see how this mixture does. This is going to be the slippery elm, the licorice root, as well as the marshmallow root, all to coat my stomach lining, because I ain't gonna lie, I did just have some rice. Not the best option, but I was kind of limited and I was really hungry. I could have definitely fought off the hunger, like, and been on some discipline stuff, but it was either that or some pho. So neither one of them were the greatest choice, but I feel like I'll be okay. So yeah, especially since I consume stuff like that in moderation. Y'all, I just made my first ever capsule. This is crazy, but so cool. Oh my gosh. Now, like I said, this one is going to be good for my gut. Licorice root, marshmallow root, and slippery elm. And how I did this one, I decided to do 4 grams of licorice root, 3 grams of slippery elm, and 3 grams of marshmallow root all in one for, you know, a total of about 20 capsules. So yeah, I just did it like that, and I tried to combine it the best that I could. I'm sure there's better tools out there than whisk to really, you know, combine everything together, but I'm just, you know, this is just, you know, the starting phase for me. And I know there's so much more for me to learn. So please, for my experts out there, like, relax. I'm still learning, I'm experimenting, and I don't know, it's pretty cool and exciting to me. So I would actually love some feedback and any tips, any advice that you have when it comes to making tablets. I'm sure a lot of y'all is probably like, girl, why don't you wear some gloves or something? Honestly, the gloves that I have available are too big for my hands, and they're like these loose plastic ones. Let me show you the texture. Like, I got those from Walmart when I was like in desperate need of some, but I couldn't wait on Amazon to, like, you know, give me more, because that's where you really get the good ones, honestly, unless I was able to go to Home Depot, but I didn't really have time. So yeah, I just made sure my hands were clean, and honestly, I'm the only one that's consuming this anyways, so I'm really not that worried or pressed about it. But yes, y'all, so cool. And I'm gonna store it in a glass jar, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna show y'all like the final product when I finish. Okay, y'all, we're back with the long form YouTube tutorial. And first I started off by chopping up some green cabbage. You see I got those onions too over there. Right here, this is fennel bulb. This was my first time trying fennel bulb, and I'll tell y'all like how I'm gonna use that in this dish. But as you can see, these are some lion's mane mushroom. I added some coconut aminos, some sea salt, added that onion powder, some garlic powder, some poultry seasoning, and some paprika. And then I just, you know, evenly coated everything. I bought a whole bunch of mushrooms at the start of the week, and I really needed to use them up. So yeah, this is just one dish that I decided to make real quick, and I'm still doing oil freeze. So as you can see, like, it really was getting its char on for real. And I decided to put the fennel bulbs in there with some purple carrots, and I let that saute up first before adding the rest of the veggies. I added some bean sprouts and then some sesame seeds, and it was complete just like that. I served this with a side of some wild rice, which I had not had in a very long time, honestly. And I was really trying, like, as far as, you know, making those designs with the plating. I never really learned how to do fancy plating or whatever in designing in culinary school. So it's something that I definitely want to pick up and experiment with more, because I just find it fascinating. So yeah, and I just served it with some fresh cilantro and more sesame seeds. This was actually pretty good. And you already know it's packed with flavor, as I usually say for most of my recipes. So yeah, here's a little, you know, video of me taking a taste of it for the first time, like my first bites. I don't know why, I just love eating everything with chopsticks now, like even non-Asian dishes. But yeah, this was yummy. And in this next clip, this is part of my DIY for the week too. I didn't really get much behind the scenes, but I made these 2 bracelets and they came out so cute. And this is like 2 days later, I believe. Like I said, it's not very organized, but I tried to put it together as best as I could. But I started my day off by, you know, using my little thing or whatever that I ordered from Amazon, giving myself a hug and just connecting with my body, my heart space, and just started my day off with gratitude, because later on this day I, you know, had a road trip out to Starved Rock. This is actually in Ottawa, Illinois. I know a lot of y'all be asking me about my nature spots, but I can only give away a certain few, because I don't just be casually going to Starved Rock every single day or every week. So yeah, and this one is pretty huge. So definitely check it out at least one time in your life. It's not as many waterfalls for real, and the main waterfall, I don't even think it's really actively waterfalling for real, so that was disappointing, but it was still a great experience. Me and my friend, we meditated in nature, and it was just a vibe. Like, yeah, and I can't wait to share more of my experiences, my behind the scenes of my life in the next few videos. So yeah, y'all, peace.